Horror story, zombies at abandoned gas station. Hey, what's good, everyone? Buckle up, 'cause I've got a story that'll make your blood run cold. This one's from a lonely stretch of Highway 50 in Nevada, a road so empty they call it the loneliest road in America. Right off this highway, there's an old, run-down gas station called Rusty Pump. Back in the day, it was a bustling stop for truckers and drifters, but about a decade ago, it went dark after some folks vanished without a trace. Locals whisper that the place is cursed, that those missing people didn't just disappear, they turned into something else. Something hungry. They say if you stop by Rusty Pump at night, you might hear scratching on your car windows or low, guttural growls from the shadows. Enter Jake Harper, a 17-year-old kid with a chipped front tooth, a love for punk rock, and zero patience for ghost stories. Jake grew up in a small town nearby, where tales about Rusty Pump were campfire staples. He thought they were all BS, just stories to scare kids. One sweltering summer night, Jake and his crew were chilling in Tommy's backyard, passing around sodas and talking smack. Tommy, who loved playing the storyteller, leaned in and said, "You know Rusty Pump, right? They say if you go there at midnight, you'll see zombies, with milky white eyes and torn-up skin, prowling around the pumps. They can smell living flesh, and if you're not quick, they'll rip you apart." The group shivered, but Jake just laughed. "Y'all are pathetic," he said, shaking his head. "Zombies? Probably just stray dogs or some tweaker camping out there." Tommy smirked, sensing a challenge. "Oh yeah? Bet you won't go to Rusty Pump at midnight. Record it, prove you've got the guts, and I'll buy you burgers for a month." Jake's pride kicked in. "You're on," he said, grinning, though a tiny part of him felt a flicker of doubt. Around 11:30 p.m., Jake got ready. He threw on his denim jacket, stuffed a backpack with a flashlight, a water bottle, and a pocket knife for good measure. His phone was fully charged, ready to capture every second of his victory lap. His mom caught him heading out. "Jake, where you going this late?" she asked, worry creasing her face. "Just a quick ride, Mom, no big deal," he said, flashing a grin to ease her nerves. He didn't mention the gas station. Jake hopped on his bike and pedaled down Highway 50, the night air hot and still. The road was dead quiet, save for the occasional hum of a passing car. When he reached Rusty Pump, the place looked like a scene from a post-apocalyptic movie. The building was crumbling, windows shattered, and the old gas pump stood like rusted tombstones under the pale moonlight. Jake pulled out his phone and hit record. "Yo, it's Jake Harper, live from the so-called haunted Rusty Pump. Y'all think there's zombies here? I'm about to prove it's just a dump," he said, his voice cocky but his eyes darting around. At first, it was uneventful. Jake walked through the lot, his flashlight beam cutting through the dark, picking out faded signs and broken shelves inside the station. "Look at this," he said to the camera, zooming in on a dusty candy display. "Zombies eating Twinkies? Yeah, right." He chuckled, but the laughter died when he heard it, a faint, metallic scratching, like nails dragging across steel. He froze, his flashlight sweeping the room. "Who's there?" he called, his voice cracking just a bit. Nothing but the wind whistling through broken windows. Then came the growl. Low, guttural, like a starving animal. Jake spun around, his flashlight landing on a dark corner near the old cashier counter. Something moved. A figure staggered out, tall, gaunt, with gray, peeling skin and eyes like clouded marbles. Its mouth hung open, jagged teeth stained with something dark. Jake's heart slammed against his ribs. "What the hell?" he whispered, his phone shaking in his hand. The thing let out a bone-rattling roar and lunged. Jake screamed, bolting for the door. He stumbled into the lot, only to see two more figures lurching from behind the pumps. Their skin was rotting, their movements jerky but fast, and the stench of decay hit him like a punch. Jake sprinted toward his bike, but one of the zombies cut him off, its claw-like hands swiping at the air. He yanked out his pocket knife, slashing wildly, but the blade barely scratched the thing's leathery skin. His phone was still recording, capturing his ragged breathing and panicked yells. Jake made a break for the desert beyond the station, hoping to lose them in the open. But the zombies were relentless, their growls echoing in the night. He tripped on a patch of sand, his phone tumbling from his hand. The last seconds of the video showed one of the creatures leaning down, its white eyes glaring into the lens, its mouth snarling one word, meat. Jake's scream cut through the audio, then silence. The next morning, a trucker spotted Jake's bike tipped over by the highway, a few yards from Rusty Pump. His phone was found nearby, screen cracked but intact. The video was only a few minutes long, ending with that chilling image of the zombie and Jake's final scream. The police searched the area, but all they found were a few drops of dried blood in the sand. No Jake, no body, nothing. Nowadays, folks in town steer clear of Rusty Pump, especially after dark. Truckers passing through swear they hear growls in the distance, and some claim they've seen shambling figures in the shadows, waiting for the next unlucky soul to stop by. So, if you're ever cruising down Highway 50, maybe keep driving. Rusty Pump ain't worth the stop.